this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
With no fees or minimums on checking accounts, it's no wonder the Capital One bank guy is so passionate about banking with Capital One. If he were here, he wouldn't just tell you about no fees or minimums. He'd also talk about how most Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. Yep, even on weekends. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One, N.A., member FDIC.
Hi, Kyle. Could you draw up a quick document with the basic business plan? Just one page, as a Google Doc, and send me the link? Thanks.
Hey, just finished drawing up that quick one-page business plan for you. Here's the link.
But there was no link. There was no business plan. I hadn't programmed Kyle to be able to do that yet. I'm Evan Ratliff, here with a story of entrepreneurship in the AI age. Listen as I attempt to build a real startup run by fake people. Check out the second season of my podcast, Shell Game, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Brought to you by the reinvented 2012 Camry. It's ready. Are you? Welcome to Stuff You Should Know from HowStuffWorks.com.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark. With me is Charles W. Chuck Bryant, who's enjoying a delicious RC brand cola right now. How's that treating you? It's wonderful.
It's satisfying and delicious to my mouth.
Agreed, Chuck.
Yes.
Chuck, I know we've already mentioned this once, but I want to allude once again to the mysterious companion shows that are coming out on the Science Channel.
Sure. Pumpkin Chuckin' and
That's close.
The Road to Pumpkin Chuckin'?
Yes. No, but they're in reverse order.
Sure.
The road begins at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and they're on the Science Channel on Thanksgiving night.
Yeah.
It's a special Thanksgiving special. And you can kind of glean from the name what it's about.
Yeah.
But we're not going to say too much more about it, right?
And now, back to our regularly scheduled program.
Chuck, I'm going to give you a little known but historically significant date in the 20th century.
Let's hear it.
March 31st, 1999.
Okay.
You give up?
16 days after my birthday, 99, 10 years ago. I was in my 20s still. Mm-hmm. Those were good days. No, what?
On that day, the digital video recorder known as TiVo shipped its first product.
Right.
I happened to be outside that day, the moment that was shipped.
Oh, really?
And I swear I heard an audible, oh,
right,
sighing out of every ad agency on the planet.
Yeah, they have found a way to not watch television commercials.
Yep. Not only can you fast forward through television commercials, you can skip television commercials automatically. TiVo senses that break.
Yeah.
Much like your old cassette player in your car could skip to the next song because of that break, right?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was bad news for advertising.
Yeah, it was, and I have to admit that I do that as well. I try to start even my Falcons games about an hour late so I can zip through the commercials there, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you like to postpone gratification?
Yeah, I've gotten spoiled here. You know, they actually factor DVR stats into Nielsen ratings now. They figured out how to do that.
Wow.
I think
that's a landmark change.
Yeah, they factor it in as whoever watched the show, and then there's the secondary 7-day window after the show premieres.
I remember them scrambling to come up with how to how to work that in. Yeah. Good for them.
Yeah, go Nielsen.
Well, go Nielsen, and I guess go advertising agencies because they figured out a way around it. Actually, It wasn't anything new, but it's definitely been stepped up since the introduction of TiVo, and that is something called product placement.
Yes, product placement is big time.
You might not have been paying attention toward the beginning of this podcast, but we did it ourselves when we mentioned Chuck drinking a delicious RC brand cola.
Right. It's a little harder to be subtle when you are working in a audio medium.
Sure.
You pretty much have to say it.
To kind of whisper.
Right.
You know?
But the trick is, in a visual medium like a television or a film, obviously, you don't want to hit someone over the head with it too hard because then it can kind of backfire on you.
Right.
So you want to be really clever with how you place it. You want it to be noticed but not to stand out. I think.
And when done right, it works like gangbusters.
Absolutely.
The key is to have a cool advertising exec working on this plan.
Yeah.
Who has nerves of steel and knows where that line is.
Yeah.
Because you want, as Catherine Neer, our esteemed colleague who wrote this wonderful article.
Go Catherine.
Right. She, as she points out, it's very easy to cross the line, and you want the product to fit in almost seamlessly.
Yeah, because the filmmaker certainly doesn't want that either.
No. So
even though it greases their palm a little bit and makes things possible many times, they still don't want it to be the focus. Any filmmaker worth their salt.
They don't always have their palms greased.
Well, no.
And you would think, well, yeah, they're always paying to have their product placed. There's actually 3 ways that it happens.
Yes.
The first way is when a product just ends up in a scene organically or without any contact with the company who manufactures it, saying, give me money.
Yeah, like a director or a prop master or someone says, hey, that'd be cool if Tom Cruise, smashed this Coke can against his head, his little tiny pea-like head.
Or if somebody in The Sopranos used a can of Raid.
Yeah, on Tony.
Very violently, right?
Yeah, Ralph sprayed Tony in the face during a fight.
That's not good.
It didn't end well for Ralph either.
No, and the S.C. Johnson company who manufactures Raid wasn't entirely happy about it because really, number one, they weren't asked.
Right.
And number two, it makes their product look kind of bad.
Sure.
Oh yeah, I forgot Raid's really dangerous on humans too.
And they didn't use the can of Rid, the fake things that Hollywood comes up with.
Right.
My brother used to give me those little props as Christmas gifts.
I would love to have one of those. Chuck, by the way, got me a can of beer.
Yeah.
That we'd talked about in a previous podcast.
Well, that's legit. Those are just generic products. But he would send me a Budweiser can was Bud Macier. And he sent me an Evian bottle that said Ewan, and they do it just in the same typeface, and it looks just like it.
Yeah, which I guess you can get away with.
Yeah.
There's 2 other ways that this can happen. One is that the company trades some of their product for product placement, which is
payola,
about as lame as it gets.
Well, not really.
We need 50 cases of Coca-Cola, and we'll put your product in the movie if you give us free Coke. Who does that?
Well, yeah, but that's the kind of clamoring that you do, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
You've been like, hey, if you send us some Reese's Pieces, we'll talk about them on the air.
Yeah, that's right. Huh.
So, yeah, but we're not famous filmmakers. So.
No, we're not famous enough to do it the third way, which I plan on doing. That's pretty much extortion.
Yeah, financial compensation.
You're saying, we'll put your product in our movie.
Yeah.
Or TV show, or on the internet, whatever. We'll get to that in a little bit. Mm-hmm. If you give us money in return.
Yeah, it's a big deal for smaller films, though, for sure.
Definitely, it's when you think this is the most expensive film ever made, $200 million or whatever. Wasn't it Waterworld that broke the $100 million mark or something, and then
I don't
Titanic
remember.
broke the $200 million?
It's just crazy money.
But I mean, this doesn't all come from one guy writing a check or one studio writing a check. There's Japanese masters involved.
Sure.
There are, charity groups. Mm-hmm. There's investment funds and then there's sponsorship, corporate sponsorship.
Yeah.
In the way of product placement. Probably the most famous, as far as I know, product placement was in E.T.
Well, yeah, I just mentioned Reese's Pieces.
Right.
Out of context. But yeah, E.T. was famously catapulted. I even remember this. I remember Reese's Pieces before E.T. and after E.T. because it was a big, big difference in their notability. It was supposed to be M&M's. I think people might have heard the story. And I think the M&M people...
they said, nah, to Spielberg. Who wanted $1 million for it.
Oh, is that what it was?
He wanted $1 million. M&M's turned him down. Reese's said yes. 80% jump in sales the month the movie was released.
And really put it on the map forever.
So, and put product placement on the map as well.
Yeah,
I mean, this can work.
Uh-huh.
And it does. Chuck, let's talk about the first product placement that ever occurred, as far as we know. Something in a little film called The African Queen in the 1950s.
Kate Hepburn threw a case of Gordon's gin over the side of a boat.
That's exactly right.
That was awful.
That wasn't bad. It's better than my Kate Hepburn.
I used to do a pretty decent one. I don't know what happened.
You did a pretty decent one before we started recording.
Or maybe I did Audrey Hepburn.
No, that was not Audrey Hepburn.
No, maybe I used to do that one well. I can't keep them straight.
Gordon's Gin paid the production company that made The African Queen, which at the time was either UA or Paramount, as far as I know.
Yeah, probably.
And that was the first real product placement that ever took place.
Yeah, that we know of.
Did you know that about that same time it started to really gain traction, and soap operas are named soap operas because they use product placement.
Yep.
Oftentimes soap products. In their episodes, and it still continues on today. What is it? All My Children had
Yeah.
like a couple month-long storyline where Revlon factored into like the plot line the whole
It's
time.
probably like the Revlon killer or something like that.
Probably.
I'm sure someone knows.
And we'll hear about it.
Yes, we will.
All right, so we've got it simply happens. It happens in exchange for the product, or it happens in exchange for compensation, or it doesn't happen at all. Most famously in the movie Repo Man.
Yes, Repo Man, film by Alex Cox. I think it's a.
Wait, how do you know that?
I'm a fan of the movie.
I am too, but I don't know who directed it.
Well, he did Sid and Nancy and Straight to Hell. He's a classic director.
Okay.
He Alex Cox famously in Repo Man used all generic products, and if you've seen the movie, it's a cult classic now. You'll notice that every single product in the movie is generic, and it came from Ralph's grocery store in L.A.
Oh, really?
Yeah, who used to make the beer that I sent you.
So it really was generic products.
Yeah, they were real
So
generic
technically,
products.
there was a company that made those generic products
good
that
point.
featured prominently.
Yeah.
So I guess there was lots of product placement. It was all one company. Actually, there were two companies. Also, anybody who has seen that movie can tell you that probably the most prominent character in the entire movie that appears in just about every scene are the little Christmas tree air fresheners.
Yep.
That show up on every vehicle in the movie.
Even a motorcycle.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And the company that made those actually sponsored that movie, so.
Yeah, actually I looked into that. I think this is, it wasn't quite a sponsorship, but they did send them free trees, and apparently Alex Cox said they sent, unscented trees because none of the actors could stand to, be cooped up with the scented ones for too long.
That's very kind of them.
Yeah, and they basically said, these really stink. Can you send in some that don't? They went, okay. But they are air fresheners, remember?
So they didn't sponsor the movie.
They did not sponsor it, but they sent him the swag that was used in the film. Sure.
Why must you always humiliate me?
I'm sorry.
Support for the show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt. From renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year, you can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, builds a one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then, you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like EFTs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/podcast and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/podcast. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing, Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors LLC. SEC registered advisor. Generated assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
Hi, Kyle. Could you draw up a quick document with the basic business plan? Just one page as a Google Doc and send me the link? Thanks.
Hey, just finished drawing up that quick one-page business plan for you. Here's the link.
But there was no link. There was no business plan. It's not his fault. I hadn't programmed Kyle to be able to do that yet. My name is Evan Ratliff. I decided to create Kyle, my AI co-founder, after hearing a lot of stuff like this from OpenAI CEO Sam Altman.
There's this betting pool for the first year that there's a one-person billion-dollar company, which would have been unimaginable without AI, and now will happen.
I got to thinking, could I be that one person? I'd made AI agents before for my award-winning podcast, Shell Game. This season on Shell Game, I'm trying to build a real company with a real product run by fake people.
Oh, hey, Evan. Good to have you join us. I found some really interesting data on adoption rates for AI agents in small to medium businesses.
Listen to Shell Game on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
So we talked about Reese's Pieces getting a big payoff, right?
Yeah.
Smaller companies can do this too.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Red Stripe beer?
Rocka, Red Stripe.
Hooray beer.
Yes.
Yeah, I love those ads.
Yeah, I like Red Stripe too.
I do too, but I had never heard of that before the firm.
See, I don't remember that in the firm.
When he goes down to the Caymans and is hanging out with Gene Hackman,
They're drinking
Red Stripe the whole time.
Oh, okay.
And it was so prominent that there were articles in the New York Times and Time and Newsweek written about Red Stripe beer. And it was so funny too. I remember it wasn't about product placement. They were drooling over Red Stripe like it was the hip new thing.
Right.
It could not have paid off better for Red Stripe. I think they saw, actually it could have, But they saw a 50% increase in sales after that movie was released.
Right. I get people probably were turned on by the cool little squatty bottle.
Yeah, but I mean, it had been around forever and was sold in the United States.
Sure.
I think they probably used it to just kind of up their market presence. I'm sure that they got a lot more distribution after that, too.
Yeah, the power of the cruise.
Yeah.
He's very powerful, small man.
Don't you wish that just for mentioning Red Stripe being in the firm, they would send us Red Stripe?
Yeah.
Maybe some retroactive compensation?
Yeah, some juice. You know, my uncle was in the firm, by the way.
What do you have, DTs or something?
No, some juices and some juice, some payola.
Oh, gotcha, okay. I thought you meant beer.
My uncle was in the firm.
I'm not surprised.
He was living in Memphis at the time where they filmed it.
Is Tom Cruise your uncle?
Yeah, he is.
Is Gene Triplehorn your uncle?
Gene Triplehorn's my uncle. No, he just had a little walk-on, like, let me walk in and give the papers to somebody.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
Exactly. Should we talk about Jerry Maguire?
Yeah, this is a really good example of product placement going awry, Chuck.
Yeah, if you remember in the Cameron Crowe film, Jerry Maguire, Cuba Gooding Jr. as Rod Tidwell was a professional football player who is getting constantly dissed by Reebok in the movie. And Reebok's showing me no love, they're giving me no love. And that was a deal made through Reebok and TriStar, and it was contingent on, at the very end of the film, after the credits, I think, there would be a phony Reebok commercial, finally, with Rod Tidwell, that said, sorry, Rod, we were wrong all along, love Reebok. And Cameron Crowe cut that from the end of the film, and they got sued by Reebok. TriStar did, because Cameron Crowe cut that scene.
Well, not only that, Cuba Gooding Jr. is talking smack about him in at least one scene, right?
Well, they okayed that as long as the commercial played it.
Oh, I gotcha. Wow.
So it was all part of the deal, and Reebok supposedly put in $1.5 million into merchandise, advertising, and promotional support. They sued TriStar for $10 million and settled out of court. And if you notice, if you've ever seen Jerry Maguire on cable, that commercial is back in the movie.
Wow.
So that had something to do, or at least it was initially on Showtime. I don't know if it still is, but they that was probably part of the out of court settlement.
Sure.
Slip it back in there for cable and DVD or whatever.
And, yeah, TBS.
And we'll make good.
Cars also usually feature prominently in movies.
Let's talk about cars.
Yeah, there's actually been, anytime you see a movie where there's like a high-speed chase, you invariably are shown the grille of the car that has the emblem. So you know exactly, like the Transporter.
Yeah.
I think Audi's figured really big into that one.
Yeah, and Transformers, I think it was that new Camaro. Michael Bay's always trying to highlight the new models of Fords and Chevys.
I think the first time I ever became aware of product placement was a little movie called RoboCop.
Yes.
Do you remember the Taurus from the future?
Yeah, the Ford Taurus.
It was actually the 1988 model Ford Taurus with a couple of ground effects on it that RoboCop drove. And I remember it coming out, I think RoboCop came out in 86 or 87. It was definitely before that Taurus debuted.
Yeah, yeah.
So the movie was its debut. And I remember seeing it on the road when it came out, holy cow, there's the RoboCop Taurus.
Right.
Without the ground effects.
Dude, that's exactly what they want.
It is exactly what they want. I didn't go out and buy a Taurus, but it is exactly what they want.
Josh, some other notables?
Yeah.
Clearly Smokey and the Bandit with the Pontiac Trans Am.
Yeah.
One of the most classic.
I would have gone with the bitchin' Camaro over a Trans Am, but...
Herbie the Love Bug was, of course, a big ad for the Volkswagen Beetle. Not a big ad, but big...
It works. That's the thing. It might not be intended like that. Sometimes it just works out.
Sure.
There's a classic movie out there that is centered around a sentient VW Beetle.
Right, that talks.
Yeah.
Is that what sentient means?
No. And does Herbie talk? I think he just reacts and interacts.
Yeah, you're right.
No, sentient is aware of your own being.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't kidding. Back to the Future, the DeLorean was prominently featured, obviously, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was after the DeLorean had already had its run.
It was a very tongue-in-cheek appearance.
Okay, was that what
And
it
actually,
was?
I think Pepsi was definitely a corporate sponsor of that movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And who can forget the truly bad BMW Z8 that was driven in the Bond film, The World Is Not Enough?
The Bond films are often used to debut new stuff.
Yeah, new
because they're
cars.
just such global events
Yeah.
when those movies come out. They're perfect for it. And let's, of course, Chuck, let's not forget my boy, Magnum P.I.
Yeah.
driving a Ferrari 308i.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I've been online. You can get one of those these days for about $30K.
Really?
Yeah. And it costs you another $15K every time you need an oil change.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a TV car. Some other notable TV cars are the Dodge Charger from Dukes of Hazzard, and the Trans Am from Knight Rider, once again, getting some more love, and the Gran
What's
Torino.
wrong with Camaros?
I don't know, because even Starsky and Hutch use a Gran Torino. They could use a Camaro.
They were bad.
Yeah.
I often think of us as the Starsky and Hutch of podcasting.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's who?
I'm clearly Hutch.
Okay, that's fine. Who was that, David Soul?
Yeah.
Nice. If you're talking cars, though, Josh, a little company called Audi took it to a whole nother level, as we say here in the South. In 2004, the movie I, Robot, which was had something to do with Asimov, right?
Well, yeah, it was based on
one of
his
books.
book.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Audi RSQ concept car is really plays a central role in that movie, and it wasn't just placed in that film; it was built and constructed solely for that film.
Right, with the input of the director of the movie.
They designed it together.
Yeah, and just for this movie.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
And did they ever release that as a real car to the public? Or
Most concept cars aren't released as a real car. They're just
sure.
kind of like, hey, check this out. Get excited about this. And then, sorry, chumps.
Some other examples of non-car. Who can forget Tom Cruise? Once again, we can't escape his tiny shadow with the Ray-Ban sunglasses in Risky Business.
Yeah.
Classic scene.
Yes, and Fruit of the Loom underwear.
Yeah, Fruit of the Loom. What else? FedEx and Castaway. The film Castaway.
Yeah, but not just FedEx. Like, clearly FedEx features prominently in it, but they did the writer, clearly this is the writer, did such an amazing job of Wilson sporting goods manufacturers.
Yes.
And their volleyball, there's basically two characters in the whole movie, and one of them is a Wilson brand volleyball.
Yeah. Named Wilson.
Probably, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's so perfect. This is actually maybe an example of the almost being taken out of the seamless, the product placement being seamlessly woven into the
I thought it worked actually.
It did work. I'm saying it worked so well that I don't think must go buy Wilson volleyball.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It was just another character. I thought it was great.
I wonder. Well, I guess they've proven with things like Reese's Pieces that it works. But do you really get a jump in volleyball sales because of that?
I don't know.
Seems unlikely to me.
Will the COO of Wilson Sporting Goods please write us and let us know if you guys saw a jump in sales?
Yeah, I'd like to know that.
All right.
Josh, now they have, it used to kind of be just a willy-nilly, let me see what I can do DIY thing, but now there are, most corporations have entire branches, well, not a branch maybe, but they'll have people that work exclusively with product placement, and they search out films and contact them to try and get their products featured.
They have, I think they're called officers for integrated branding is the division usually.
They always create such silly names.
Sure, they want to leverage their brand on as much of a granular level as possible.
Call it Schillmeister.
Sure, that's a great one. So Chuck, this has become quite the booming little cottage industry.
Big time.
In 2006, they spent $1.6 billion for product placement in movies, $1.8 billion for TV.
Wow.
Most of that went to a show called American Idol.
Yeah. Boy,
Coca-Cola,
man, that one
Ford,
is full of it.
They will do anything for money.
Because remember, AT&T, if you call AT&T and you can text to AT&T and vote for your favorite person on AT&T, and that way, when your person wins, you can thank AT&T for being around. That's the kind of thing that Seacrest doles out each week.
I feel dirty, Chuck.
You know what they paid?
What?
Every sponsor, AT&T, Coca-Cola, and Ford, each paid $26 million each.
Per episode, not per season.
Is it per episode?
I think it is per ad deal, we should say.
Yeah.
I don't know how many episodes that is, but
that's a lot of dough, man.
It is.
And reality TV as a whole has really embraced this, and this is where I don't mind it that much. Like, I'm a big Top Chef fan, and that show is heavily sponsored. Like Padma will come and say, if you notice in your GE Monogram kitchen, and you see GE Monogram everywhere, or we want to thank the Glad family of bags for supplying us with this blah, blah, blah. But, reality shows, they don't have the hugest budgets, and if they can get an entire kitchen donated by GE monogram, then good for them, and
Sure.
give them a little love back. And it's reality TV. It's
Whatevs.
It's not like ruining the through line. The
Right,
dramatic
exactly.
through line.
You don't have to suspend disbelief to watch reality TV. It takes the guesswork out of watching.
I have to suspend disbelief that Padma is not really my wife.
I'll bet you do.
That's what I
at
do.
times,
Yeah.
especially when your eyes are shut really tight. Chuck, there's been some really great examples of product placement being treated tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
Remember in Wayne's World?
Yeah.
Where they're going off about how they won't do any product placement, they won't be corporate shills, or,
Right.
And while they're doing it, they're showing the products that they're
Yeah, I think Pizza Hut was one of them.
right. And Nuprin, little, yellow, different, better,
Right.
And like the little yellow pill is
Right,
on his
right.
black and white hand. Yeah, It's pretty good. Josie and the Pussycats. Apparently, I didn't see the movie, but I
didn't
guess
either.
it in their 2-minute 25-second trailer.
Yeah.
There's like 30 instances of product placement.
Yeah, as a spoof, though, right? I
Yeah.
think they're just trying to take the piss out of it, as our English fans might say.
Yes, which means it shouldn't be bleeped out. And also, have you ever seen State and Main, Chuck?
I love that movie.
I love that movie too.
So that happened.
Do you
That's
remember?
my favorite line of that movie.
you-
Remember when
I don't-
Alex Baldwin crashes the car?
Oh yeah,
And then he just gets out of the car and goes, so that happened.
right. He's all kind of dazed a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's hit his head clearly.
Love that movie.
You remember one of the very minute subplots was about product placement.
Oh, yeah.
They were having a real problem with it because it's the movie was set in the 19th century.
Right.
The movie they were making.
Oh, that's right.
And they had corporate sponsorship from like a brand new cutting edge like office supply company.
Right. I remember now.
So they finally figured it out, and they kind of show it very subtly at the end that
Right.
like it's like the name of the office supply company, Printers or something like that.
That was like Ye Old,
Right.
whatever it was.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So-
that was classic.
Yeah.
Poor Philip Seymour Hoffman was the writer that had to deal with that.
Yeah.
It was a great role.
It was a great role.
Josh, not only, if you're talking about American Idol, not only will you see ads splashed all over the place, a big thing now is to actually sponsor, I wish I could think of the right word. It's not even an ad, really, but if you go to their website, parts of their website are sponsored, like the Old Navy Fun and Games section.
Right.
And when was the last time you went to a Falcons game?
I don't remember, Chuck. When was the last time I went to a
Don't know.
Falcons game?
You know, the red zone is when a team has the ball on their opponent's 20-yard line.
I'm familiar with the sport of football.
Yeah, so if they're inside the 20, that's the red zone. That means you're trying to score a touchdown. It is not the red zone in Atlanta anymore.
What is it?
It is the Ford Drive Zone.
I've seen that. There's
Yeah.
also the Old Spice Red Zone.
Yeah. Depends on your team, I guess. What city is sponsored by what team.
Right. Or who
what
the highest bidder
company.
was that season.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Support for this show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt, from renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year. You can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, buys one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like ETFs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/SYSK and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/SYSK. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing, Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors, LLC, SEC registered advisor. Generated Assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not an investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
Hi, Kyle. Could you draw up a quick document with the basic business plan? Just one page, as a Google Doc, and send me the link? Thanks.
Hey, just finished drawing up that quick one-page business plan for you. Here's the link.
But there was no link. There was no business plan. It's not his fault. I hadn't programmed Kyle to be able to do that yet. My name is Evan Ratliff. I decided to create Kyle, my AI co-founder, after hearing a lot of stuff like this from OpenAI CEO Sam Altman.
There's this betting pool for the first year that there's a one-person billion-dollar company, which would have been like unimaginable without AI, and now will happen.
I got to thinking, could I be that one person? I'd made AI agents before for my award-winning podcast, Shell Game. This season on Shell Game, I'm trying to build a real company with a real product run by fake people.
Oh, hey, Evan. Good to have you join us. I found some really interesting data on adoption rates for AI agents in small to medium businesses.
Listen to Shell Game on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You want to talk about books real quick? Sure. Who's the author here? I'd never heard of her, actually. Faye Weldon. Apparently she wrote a book. She was contracted by Bulgari, the jeweler, contracted to write a book. She didn't just have an idea and they said, hey, can you slip Bulgari in there? They contracted her to write a book that centered around Bulgari, and she did so, and it was called The Bulgari Connection.
Right, well, so they did it. They contracted her to write this book, and it was exclusively for
That's right.
their highest-end clientele.
Right, just as a gift.
Right.
See what we got this famous author to write a book about.
Exactly.
Okay, that's
and
right.
here you go, Mr. Moneybags.
But she did release it, though, as a book, and was chided in many circles for
I
doing
would
so.
imagine so, because that put her in league with such other titles, Chuck,
I know it's coming.
as Skittles Riddles Math, the Hershey's Kisses Edition book, the M&M's Brand Counting book, Twizzlers Percentages book, and the Cheerios Christmas Playbook.
Yeah, apparently kids' books are rife with this kind of thing. I didn't know that.
Kids' book and Faye Weldon books.
Yeah, I had no idea. And Catherine gave a great example here. She said something about, if you think that maybe they just sponsored the book and put their name on the title. Not true. The Oreo cookie counting book, literally, you're counting Oreos. You open up the page and you're counting. This is how you teach kids to count, by counting cookies.
Count delicious Oreo cookies. Yeah. So we talked about the first product placement. We should have qualified that, Chuck. As far as we know, that's the first product placement in a movie. Kat Hepburn throwing Gordon's gin overboard.
That's right.
Right. The oldest product placement that Catherine could come up with was in a song, "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Yeah.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
You got it. That's one of the more obvious product placements, but from what we can tell, it was not accidental, but he was certainly not given Cracker Jacks, and they didn't pay him anything to do that.
Yeah.
But still very famous example.
Let me give you an example that has yet to happen yet. It's an example of product placement from the future. Ooh. Get this.
Okay.
On the November 8th episode of The Family Guy, viewers will be treated to what has been called pretty much a 30-minute ad for Windows 7.
Really? Really?
Yep.
Is this one of those things where they sponsor the show ad-free?
No, the whole episode's about it.
Oh, okay. Huh. I
Yeah.
can't imagine not making fun of it, though.
I'm sure they'll make fun of it because they have to, you want a cool ad exec, and Seth MacFarlane's not a complete sellout, but I'm sure it'll be as cool as a 30-minute infomercial cartoon can be, and probably even cooler than it can be.
It'll be classy.
Wow. We've got Rich Little sitting over here. Good Lord. But do you want to know where I found that little tidbit of information?
On Fox.com.
No, I didn't.
Where?
Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Folks, there is a site out there where if you are looking to arm yourself against product placement, you can go to, and it'll give you a heads up on what's coming out. It's an industry website called productplacement.biz, www.productplacement.biz.
Wow.
The actual name of the site is Product Placement News, and it's all like basically press releases and articles about the industry of product placement.
Holy cow.
It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I guess the final example that Catherine mentions in the article is noteworthy is rap music. Starting way back with Run DMC and My Adidas.
Sure. I don't know that. I mean, I think they did that themselves, though. They were pretty fond of Adidas.
That's what her point is most of the instances in rap music, like Busta Rhymes had a song called Pass the Courvoisier, Part 2. Most of these come out because of the artist's fondness for the product. And then, afterward, the product will get in touch with them and say, hey, Busta, thanks, man. You really did us a solid, and so here's a year's supply worth of Courvoisier.
And some trees.
And whatever else.
That's actually happened a lot earlier than with the advent of hip-hop, what you just described.
Sure.
There is a very deep-seated rumor surrounding Janis Joplin, who
Southern Comfort?
You might remember had an affinity for Southern Comfort. Would
time.
drink fifths of it on stage during the show.
Yeah.
Would go through a fifth during a show.
Poor Janis.
Yeah. You know she couldn't hack it the first time she went out from Texas to San Francisco?
Yeah, she had
She
really
had to go
sad
home.
life.
Like, she was
Yeah.
like, I can't do this. And then she, I guess, started really getting wasted and was like, okay, let me try again. And that
Right.
one took.
Right.
She met up with Pigpen, and it just went downhill from there.
Yeah. Did you ever read those letters?
Wait, hold
or
on, I
hear
wasn't
about the
done with my story.
Well, I'm not done with my part either.
All right, go ahead.
Did you ever see the letters from her sister that she and her sister wrote back and forth, that documentary?
No, I'll bet they went...
No, it was actually very touching and very sad. She wasn't like Miss Big Pants rock star. She was like a really sweet, down-home girl that was, like you said, was very shy and nervous and close to her family. Very tragic.
Yeah, that is tragic.
So let's hear about
anytime
the
somebody
SoCo.
dies at age 27, that's pretty tragic,
sure.
you know? Apparently there's a rumor that SoCo was so fond of her drinking their product and hawking it just by taking it up on stage that they bought her the mink coat that she wears on the album cover for the album Pearl.
Wow.
Yeah.
Classic cover.
Yeah.
Those big round glasses.
I've also heard they bought the Rolls Royce that she's standing next to as well.
Really?
But, yeah.
You know, I got a little tip for you. Janis Joplin spent her last night at Barney's Beanery in West Hollywood drinking Southern Comfort, went off to a hotel and died. Go to Barney's Beanery and order the Toad in the Hole.
Okay.
Thank me later.
And if you want to know more about product... God, I feel like such a jerk saying this after that. If you want to know more about product placement, you can type product placement into the handy search bar at howstuffworks.com. And that means it's time for listener mail.
Indeed. Josh, I'm just going to call this our favorite high-speed story so far.
Already? Man, Chuck, you got turnover going?
We did our Cannonball Run episode recently, and we asked for high-speed stories. We got a bunch of good ones. We don't want to plug those because it's unsafe to drive fast, kids. But this came from Jamie in Chicago. Jamie works at a financial advising firm, and we help him get through some long work days, Josh. Mm-hmm. He has an Uncle Matt that's a pretty big car collector. He never owns more than 2 to 3 cars, but he always has a nice Corvette or a muscle car from the 70s that'll buy, fix up, and then sell or trade.
Cool.
In the early 1980s, Uncle Matt was living in Kansas. He had just bought and fixed up his Corvette, and he took it out on a nice flat highway in Kansas to see what it could do. He was going between 120 and 140 when he saw the flashing blue lights in the mirror, and cop pulled him over. Cop walked up and says, "Do you know why I pulled you over, sir?" And Matt said, I tried to fumble through some answer about how fast he was driving, and the cop said, "I pulled you over because in this state, we have a law that all aircraft must have their tail numbers displayed on their wings." Turns out the cop was a gearhead and more interested in looking under the hood than giving him a ticket. So not only did he not end up giving him a speeding ticket, he just said, keep it down to more of a land speed level and send him on his way.
Sweet.
So good for Uncle Matt.
That is a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're done with the speed stories, right?
Yeah, we're not going to read too many of those.
Well, then I guess that means that we should just have a grab bag this week, huh?
Yeah, grab bag.
Anything you feel like saying to us, you just go ahead and say it. Send it in an email to stuffpodcast@howstuffworks.com.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit howstuffworks.com. Want more How Stuff Works? Check out our blogs on the howstuffworks.com homepage. Brought to you by the reinvented 2012 Camry. It's ready. Are you?
At CVS, it matters that we're not just in your community, but that we're part of it. It matters that we're here for you when you need us, day or night. And we want everyone to feel welcomed and rewarded. It matters that CVS is here to fill your prescriptions and here to fill your craving for a tasty and, healthy snack. At CVS, we're proud to serve your community because we believe where you get your medicine matters. So visit us at cvs.com or just come by our store. We can't wait to meet you. Store hours vary by location.
Hi, Kyle. Could you draw up a quick document with the basic business plan, just one page, as a Google Doc, and send me the link? Thanks.
Hey, just finished drawing up that quick one-page business plan for you. Here's the link.
But there was no link. There was no business plan. I hadn't programmed Kyle to be able to do that yet. I'm Evan Ratliff, here with a story of entrepreneurship in the AI age. Listen as I attempt to build a real startup run by fake people. Check out the second season of my podcast, Shell Game, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed Human.